Good morning, Dr. Vivar. Good morning to everybody. I am John Artis sa LP San Juan, and today I will be discussing about Martha Elizabeth Rogers, who is the proponent of the theory, the science of unitary human being. But before we further discuss about her theory, let's talk about first her life on how she grew up and how she came up with the theory. So Martha Elizabeth Rogers was born May 12, 1914 in Dallas, Texas, USA. She is sharing or having the same birthday with Florence Nightingale. She is actually the eldest of the four children of Mr. and Mrs. Rogers. She had a love and passion for books. Her father actually introduced her to the public library at the age of 3, where she really loved story time. In fact, Rogers already knew the Greek alphabet by the age of 10. And by the 6th grade, she already finished reading all 20 volumes of the child's book of knowledge and was into the Encyclopedia Britannica. Martha Rogers is actually an American nurse, researcher, theorist, and author, widely known for developing the science of unitary human beings. And her landmark book is entitled An Introduction, the Theoretical Basis of Nursing. She believes that a patient can never be separated from their environment when addressing health and treatment. Today, she is thought of as ahead of her time and out of this world. Martha Rogers received her nursing diploma from Knoxville General Hospital School of Nursing in 1936. In the following year, she earned her public health nursing degree in Georgia Peabody College in Tennessee, which is in the year 1937. In 1945, she got her master's degree in public health nursing from Teachers College at Columbia University. And in 1954, doctorate in nursing was given to her from Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore. This time, let's talk about more of her theory, which is the science of unitary human being. Her theory actually means that the patient cannot be separated from his or her environment when addressing health and treatment. Rogers' theory defined nursing as an art and science that is humanistic and humanitarian. It is directed toward the unitary human, and it's concerned with the nature and direction of human development. According to Rogers' science of unitary human beings, it contains two dimensions. The first one is the science of nursing, which is the knowledge specific to the field of nursing that comes from the scientific research. And the second one is the art of nursing, which involves using science of nursing creatively to help better to the life of the patient. Martha Rogers' theory comprises of 5 assumptions, 4 major concepts, and 3 major principles. In 1970, Rogers' conceptual model of nursing rested on a set of basic assumptions that describe the life process in human beings. Number 1 is wholeness, which means the human being is a unified whole, processing individual integrity and manifesting characteristics that are more than and different from the sum of its parts. Second is openness, which means the individual and the environment are continuously exchanging matter and energy with each other. Third one is unidirectionality, which means the life processes of human beings evolve irreversibly and unidirectionally along a space-time continuum. Next is pattern and organization, which means it is actually a pattern identify human being and reflect their innovative wholeness. And lastly, science and thought, which means that the individuals is characterized by the capacity for abstraction in imagery, language, and thoughts, sensation, and emotions. Martha Rogers' science of unitary human being has major concepts. Human beings are dynamic energy fields that are integral with environmental fields. Both human and environmental fields are identified by pattern and characterized by universe of open systems. Rogers postulated four building blocks for her model. Number one is energy field, which means or it states that the energy field is the fundamental unit of both the living and the non-living. Energy fields continuously varies in intensity, density, and extent. Next one is openness, which means that the human field in the environmental field constantly exchanging their energy. There are no boundaries or barriers that inhibit energy flow between fields, leading to continuous moving of energy. Next one is pattern. It is actually defined as the distinguishing characteristic of energy field perceived as a single waves. Pattern is an abstraction and it gives identify to the field. Last is four-dimensionality. It is actually defined as nonlinear domain without spatial or temporal attributes. Its parameters that humans use in language to describe event are arbitrary. The present is relative. There is no temporal ordering of lives. The theory has two fields. The first field is the human field, which means the unitary human being is defined as irreducible, indivisible, one-dimensional energy field identified by pattern and manifesting characteristics that are specific to the whole and that cannot be predicted from the knowledge of the parts. Second one, or the second field is environmental field. The environmental field is defined as irreducible, one-dimensional energy field identified by pattern and integral with the human field. In this case, both human and environmental fields change continuously, creatively, and integrally. The theory of Martha Rogers has homeodynamic principles. Homeodynamic refers to the balance between dynamic life process and environment. Homeodynamics should be understood as a dynamic version of homeostasis and are relatively steady state of internal operations in the living system. These principles help to view human as unitary human being. First principle is resonancy. It speaks to the nature of the change occurring between humans and environmental fields. The life process in human beings is the symphony of rhythmical vibrations at various frequencies. It is the identification of the human field and the environmental field by wave patterns, manifesting continuous change from lower waves of lower frequency to shorter wave of higher frequency. Next principle is helicity. The human environment field is a dynamic open system which change is continuous due to the constant interchange between the human and environment. This change is also innovative because of the constant interchange and open system is never exactly the same. Rather, the system is continually new or different. Last principle is integrality. It means that the energy field of human and environment are in a continuous mutual process. Let's go to the four meta-paradigm concepts of Martha Rogers' theory. Number one is unitary human being. It describes the person. It is an open system that is continuously interact with the environment, that it cannot be viewed as part, but it should be as a whole. A unitary human being is irreducible, indivisible, one-dimensional energy field identified by pattern and manifesting characteristics that are specific to the whole and which cannot be predicted from the knowledge of its parts. And a unified whole having its own distinctive characteristic which cannot be perceived by looking, describing, or summarizing the parts. The next one is environment. The field coexists and are integral. It includes the entire energy field other than a person. Manifestation emerge from this field and as perceived. Next one is health. Health is actually determined by the interaction between energy field. An expression of the life process, they are the characteristics and behavior emerging out of the mutual, simultaneous interaction of the human and environmental fields. Choices, culture, behavior, it all affects our health. We relate our level of health to our level of illness. And lastly, nursing. Nursing action, direct interaction of person and environment to maximize health potential. The study of unitary, irreducible, indivisible human and environmental field, people and their world. Two dimensions independent science of nursing. Nursing is concerned with the people or all people, well and sick, rich and poor, young and old. The arenas of nursing services extend into all areas where there are people at home, at school, at work, at play, in hospital, nursing home, and clinic, and on this planet. Let's go to nursing process. And nursing process has 3 steps. Number 1 is pattern appraisal. Pattern appraisal actually meant to avoid, if not transcend, reductionistic categories of physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, cultural, and social assessment frameworks. Second is mutual patterning. It is a mutual understanding between the nurse and the patient, and that does not lead to the nurse prescribing change or predicting outcomes. And last, as usual, same thing with other evaluation, it actually centers on the perceptions emerging during mutual patterning. Let's go to critical analysis. To begin with, we have clarity. The clarity or the principles of the theory are tough to comprehend and no definition for operation. As we can notice, Martha Rogers used different measurements or tools or instructions or instruments to discuss the theory. But one thing, Martha Rogers explains the principles clearly on how the environment and humans affects the well-being and recovery of the patient. Napansin naman natin na kahit mahirap intindihin yung theory, ang pinakamalinaw na discuss or pinakamadaling na intindihan sa theory ni Martha Rogers is actually the connection of the environment to us humans and how the environment or our surroundings or the energy around us affects our well-being as a human, delays or affects the recovery of the patient. And the theory can use actually in the advancement of nursing science and research. Next one is simplicity. The theory looks to be concisely expressed, and our existence is defined by a number of factors and how it affects the life of humans. Yun nga yung pinakamadaling na explain ni Martha Rogers. What are the factors or yung mga bagay na nakakapag-affect sa recovery or sa health or well-being ng tao natin? How the environment and how the energy and everything affects our life as humans. Next one is generalizability or generality. The theory provides a foundation for long-term, intermediate-term hypotheses. As we can notice, through the years, no, starting sa paggagawa ng theory ni Martha Rogers, halos every year, every 3 years, nagkakaroon ng development, nagkakaroon ng additional information or details yung theory ni Martha Rogers. At nakita naman natin na habang tumatagal, nakikita natin kung paano naapektuhan, na-consider ni Martha Rogers yung mga experience niya before, yung mga pinag-aralan niya sa mga librong nabasa niya, at paano niya na-improve yung theory. Patients must be mindful of their surroundings for the things or factors that may impair their health and cause treatment recovery delay. Diba, naintindihan din natin kung ano yung mga factors that might affect us, that might delays the recovery ng pasyente. Diba? Nakikita natin kung paano mag-evolve yung mga ginamit ni Martha Rogers na tools and mga examples, at habang tumatagal, nakikita natin yung improvement or development. Next one is accessibility. Martha Rogers' theory has used clear instrument for nursing and nursing science development. Nabanggit ko nga kanina na somehow nagagamit natin yung theory or somehow na-experience natin, most especially us as nurses, as medical practitioners, nagagamit natin or na-experience natin, which is somehow tama, na nakaka-apekto talaga yung environment, or somehow na may connection yung environment and tayo as humans doon sa recovery ng pasyente. Not just in the recovery of the patient, even doon sa pag-impair ng health, ng pag-impair o yung pagkakaroon mo ng sakit, somehow naapektuhan ka na from the environment. Martha Rogers' theory also necessitates an awareness of one's own perspectives to find meaning on how they will cope up or recover from their condition. Next one is importance. The theory actually encourages us, nurses, to mature or nursing maturation as science, and it contains several ideas for further research. Kaya nga nabanggit ko nga kanina, di ba? Nagagamit natin siya somehow sa duty or sa mga experiences natin sa hospital. And habang tumatagal, nag-i-evolve at nag-i-evolve, nagde-develop, nag-i-improve yung theory. And then, mas nakikita natin yung kapakinabangan sa atin in the medical field. It is actually helpful for the application in nursing, teaching, and administration. And lastly, we have theory applications. The theory or the idea can and has been applied to a wide range of situations. As I've said, I already stated before, na mas nararamdaman natin to or mas na-experience natin to kasi mas exposed tayo, most especially for those people who are working in the hospital. Diba? Nakikita natin how the environment, how the factors or different factors affects the patients. At nagagamit din natin somehow yung mga tools and yung mga instruments or yung mga ideas na binigay ni Martha Rogers or in this theory. At nagagamit or na-apply natin siya sa ating sa trabaho, sa katulad dito sa klase natin. So somehow it is actually a big help for us nurses to discover more or to learn more about the things around us, the environment, the energy na meron yung paligid natin, and yung different things or factors na might affect us sa everyday life natin. For the conclusion, nurses can use Rogers' theory of science of unitarian human beings as a foundation for therapeutic interactions with others It encompasses human interaction with the environment and its surroundings. And for the references, and again, thank you very much for listening. God bless us all po.